You guys want to win a $50 Amazon gift card? All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to enter our giveaway. UFC President Dana White does not mess around when it comes to flaunting his seemingly endless wealth. With an estimated net worth that comes in around $500 million, money really isn't that big of an issue for the famed fight promoter these days. Anyone who knows Dana White will be aware of his love for fast cars, dangerous weapons, and of course, the high-stakes gambling. But even the most devoted fan of the fight promoter's history, he might not be fully aware of the wide range of very ridiculous items in Dana White's garage. Here's 10 of them. Number 10, a Harley-Davidson shopper. Considering the UFC's long-standing relationship with the Harley-Davidson brand, it really shouldn't come as a big surprise that Dana is the proud owner of a chopper himself. As a huge fan of bikes in general, Dana is clearly aware of the freedoms that come from owning a bike of this caliber, something he demonstrated best on a memorable episode of Dana White's Looking for a Fight, where he and his co-stars Din Thomas and Matt Serra rode around their respective choppers up the famed Mount Rushmore. This model would have likely set Dana up close to $30,000, a pretty fitting price for a bike that looks just about as good as it performs.
I love the chopper style, and I love the detail. This guy's got bad mofo. It's hilarious. The seats are cool. I love the big fat back tire.
Bad mofo.
Bad mofo.
It suits you.
Number 9, a Ferrari F430.
Fight week, we're just pulling up to the Fantasy Factory, Rob, and my kids are going to skate with him today.
The first Ferrari on this list comes in the form of an all-black, aluminum-bodied Ferrari F430 Spider that Dana picked up as his own personal go-to when it comes to getting around his home city of Las Vegas. If you want to talk about a car that makes a statement, this little firecracker is a classy yet powerful vehicle that complements the UFC fighter's clear eye for the luxurious in an understated yet suitably comfortable fashion. Price-wise, a car like this would probably set you back about 200,000 bones all in all, but to be fair, Dana, you gotta have a Ferrari, don't you?
So we're gonna go sit in Dana's Ferrari, that's okay?
Yeah.
Look at this, huh? This is Dana White's Ferrari, and there is Cole. Are the keys in it? Don't start it.
Number 8, Flea's bass guitar. To switch things up a bit, a bass guitar owned by the legendary Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist also sits within Dana's collection of randomly assorted trinkets.
The two bass guitars are Fleas from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they're spun by Damien Hirst, the artist.
Who knows how White managed to get a hold of one of these, but anyone who knows anything about Flea's choice of bass guitars will know that his penchant for artfully crafted instruments has been consistent since the band's emergence in the 80s. A clue to finding the connection between Flea and Dana may come from the Red Hot Chili Peppers' fellow band member Anthony Kiedis, being a longtime supporter and attendee of the UFC since the sport's golden era over a decade ago. Always a noticeable presence within the crowd, Anthony also owns shares in the company dating back to the early 2000s, so perhaps he's managed to coax a spare bass out of his bandmate for the UFC's head honcho.
If you turn it around, Flea did all of this.
Wow. Have you ever seen them live?
A million times.
Number 7, a Plymouth Barracuda. A set of wheels as pretty and ferocious as any, Dana's proven love for muscle cars truly reached a peak when he managed to get a hold of the classic 1970s Plymouth Barracuda. Known to sell for as little as $65,000 to as much as almost $1 million, it wouldn't be too much of a long shot to say that the UFC president probably splashed out a considerable bit of coin for this one. Even as a piece of eye candy, this vehicle is an absolute beauty, ticking all the boxes that a muscle car should in terms of specs and overall aesthetic. If you want to talk about a dream car specific to Dana White, the Plymouth Barracuda seems to be just that. A car that drips with the 1970s open road energy. Number 6, a custom AK-47 with an attached bayonet, because why not America? As perhaps the most ridiculously awesome entry to this list, one of Dana White's prized possessions also happens to be one of the strangest, an art piece coming in the form of a beautifully crafted AK-47 with an attached bayonet. The gun also comes with a collection of bullets filled with a number of different substances, each relating to a desirable item that armies have gone to war for. Bullets filled with oil, cocaine, blood, gold, diamonds, and religious symbols lie within this truly unique piece of work, along with a grenade that was also made by the same artist. Concealed within a glass case in his house, the exact price of this incredible ornament is not known, but if we had to guess, it certainly would not come cheap.
This is incredible.
This represents war. War is obviously about killing with the knife and the gun. War is all about money. And in the clip are all the things we kill for.
Number 5, saber-toothed tiger skull. Of course, Dana has a skull of a saber-toothed tiger in his house. Sure. Why not? Throw it all out the window at this point. Anything goes. As a rare collectible item and an admittedly badass ornament to have on display, Dana holds this specific piece among his favorite possessions and reportedly doesn't have any interest in selling it.
I put in the last bid, and I thought I didn't get it, but I ended up getting it. And it's like, I'll never sell that.
No, it's amazing,
I'll have
yeah.
that till I die. So.
Yeah.
White picked it up in 2009 from a museum auction and now proudly displays it in his office, perhaps as a constant reminder of the fact that while sure, he may have some angry 250-pound fighters to deal with on a day-to-day basis, but hey, it could be a lot worse.
Dude, what is
What
that?
the
Fucking dinosaur.
It's a saber-toothed tiger skull.
Is that legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
Number 4, a Ferrari Testarossa. Ferrari Testarossa. A Ferrari testosterone car. Is it obvious I'm not a car person? Dana White lives a fast lifestyle, and as a result, it seems logical that he would have more than one vintage supercar in his collection. The Ferrari Testosterone, I'm just gonna stick with it, was first produced in 1984 with over 10,000 models going into circulation, making one of the most widely distributed Ferraris of the era. With a price tag that could fall anywhere between $75,000 and $200,000, it's no surprise that White is a fan of old Ferraris.
This was when I was a kid. This was my dream car right here, the Testarossa. So I always wanted to get a Testarossa.
The cars pretty much sell themselves when it comes to truly making a statement on your wealth. On top of that, it just so happens to be a tremendously fun motor, one we're sure Dana frequently takes into the Vegas heat.
New seats, new interior, which is sacrilegious. You're not supposed to do that to a Ferrari, but that shit was goofy.
Number 3, a $1.2 million Yakuza painting. A huge piece of expensive artwork from Iraqi Yakuza rests in Dana's sitting room. Dwarfing all of his other possessions in terms of both size and its magnetism, this painting just so happens to be a gift from a good buddy of his who offered it to White if he could front up $200,000 cost of transporting.
I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. Women come into my office all the time. My kids were little then, so I couldn't hang it up in my house, so I put it in storage.
After seeing it and realizing it was too graphic to be displayed publicly, Dana placed it in a storage unit before later learning its value. It now rests in full view of whoever just so happens to be inside of Dana's house at the time.
That is a real Yakuza, Japanese mafia. And the tattoos tell the story of what family he's from. And that's his girlfriend. And he goes, that picture is worth $1.2 million.
Number 2, a 16th century katana. If you thought it was going to be straightforward trinkets on this list, you were a fool. It's Dana goddamn White. A memorable episode of Pawn Stars actually featured Dana White bartering his way towards buying a beautiful 16th century katana, the chosen weapon of the samurai. As one of those must-owns for anyone in a position like Dana's, paying homage to the warriors of old is a nice touch, especially with a piece this uniquely gorgeous. This katana in particular was passed down for centuries within the same family that was filled with samurai in generations gone. According to the episode of Pawn Stars that it featured in, the sword was used combatively as recently as World War I, making it an heirloom that has history both new and old.
I love the whole Japanese samurai tradition and the story, and it's a beautiful sword, so I couldn't refuse it, so I took that one too.
And number 1, a multi-million-dollar home in Pine Island Court. And finally, the most expensive known possession of the UFC president comes in the form of this $1.95 million home in the luxurious Pine Island Court in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, for a man of his near infinite wealth, that may seem like a bit of a safe investment, but when you realize that White bought out $6.2 million worth of neighboring properties in order to expand his own family home, it kind of puts things into perspective. As his own personal HQ, and of course the home to most items named on the list, Dana White's Vegas home places him right next to the vast majority of the UFC's finest events and its state-of-the-art Apex Center. A fitting castle for the king of the world's premier mixed martial arts promotion. We're certain that the spending will only intensify as the UFC's mainstream attention grows and expands.
The weather's been perfect here in Vegas, so I've been doing a lot of swimming.
And those are the 10 stupidly expensive things Dana White owns. Can you believe it? Let us know in the comments down below after liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and notifications like that though. I forgot the line.